All right, here in the finals, we are going to keep this hand. Not a great hand, but we're on the play, or on the draw rather, and we have all three colors. It just feels like a hand that could potentially work out. I think it's on the lower threshold of keeps, but it is a keep. Hopefully Smite comes up huge for us here. No 2-drop, very nice. There's a deflecting palm. Okay, well, MVP of last match. Can't believe I almost picked something over it now in retrospect. All right. I imagine that's something big. Hopefully Smite the Monstrous pays some dividends for us there. I guess Warden returning Deflecting Palm is kind of interesting. At some point in the game, of course. Sultai, okay. Merrick Nightblade, yes. Windswept Teeth. Well, I don't really want to draw more lands, so guess we play it and then crack it. And pass. Could have waited, but whatever, that's okay. So we'll see if he flips his morph this turn. Kind of hoping he does so I can make good use of this Smite the Monstrous. But not yet. Guess if he plays anything I can smite. Oh, no? Okay. Well, that's interesting. Sky Captain, not the ideal draw here since I think we passed because I have a feeling he's going to flip that morph. And he didn't flip the morph, which is really interesting. So I guess we take more damage. See if he plays anything. No plays. Well, guess we're just going to go for it. Can't really wait much longer. At the very least, it cantrips. Hoping it's the Aven guy and it actually works. Well, it's actually not that bad for us. Guess I should have done it pre-combat, but I was kind of hoping he'd flip it once again. All right, Falconer is a pretty reasonable draw, so let's... What are we at now? We're at 6. Guess we'll do... Well, could also do the Warden. Get back the Cunning Strike. Yeah, it's actually not that bad. Makes good use of mana. All right, let's get the 3-power guy down. We'll bring back our Cunning Strike. Guess you could have a counter spell here. No counter spell. All right. All right. Outlasting. No problemo. No plays. All right, interesting. So I have potentially 7 mana. I think this is a good turn to play Falconer plus Sky Captain. So let's do that. I could actually swing with the Warden, which isn't that bad of an idea, actually. If he blocks, I can Cunning Strike it. Could be willing to do that, though. Looks like he is. So I'm not going to use my Cunning Strike on that. It was more of just a see if he was willing to do it. He could have used Awaken the Bear here, I guess. That would be... I probably wouldn't care about that, honestly, because I'd rather him do it defensively than do it on a Merrick Nightblade with Death Touch. Death Touch Trample is much better. All right. Decided against it, but something to keep in mind. I still don't think it changes my play, though. Because, like, I could do Falconer and just pass and leave up Smite, but I think we do both. So now I actually have, like, a decent block. Because now I can block Sky Captain on the Merrick Nightblade and pump my Warden so he flies. Okay. So he's taking away my capabilities of chump blocking the Nightblade, which means I still have to come up with a solution to take care of it, which I currently do not have. Can't really double block it profitably. Might be one of those things where I just have to stay back plus Cunning Strike it, which I guess at this point I'm okay with. I can't do Cunning Strike plus Smite, so I think we do Windscarred Crag, pass. Although, well, maybe Falconer Outlast here is not that bad. Alright, let's do that. He knows about the Cunning Strike already, so not really leaving many illusions for him. If he answers the Warden here, I can Deflecting Palm the Nightblade, I guess. Oh, it gets back his Crippling Chill, too. That's interesting. I'm afraid I can't do anything about that. Oh, he gets back his Supplant form. Wow. It's pretty good. So I guess I Deflecting Palm this turn. Cunning Strike, unfortunately, not doing that much for us. Well, let's see if he goes for lethal. Alright. Well, the nice thing is I can still smite. So I guess I Deflecting Palm the Warden. Maybe this cues him to want to pump this. Get the Nightblade? No, not quite. So he does have Supplant form, which is pretty rough, actually. It almost like prevents me from playing Warden. What are my options here? I can actually play Warden. He supplants, forms it again, but I get my Deflecting Palm back. Granted, he keeps getting tokens, though. It's pretty problematic. Maybe I just play Horde Chief and pass. I can't even really afford to attack because he has Supplant form. Alright, well, at least he used it this time, so that's good. Does get our Falconer, but at least it doesn't have flying, and he can outlast it, so might have actually been in his best interest to take the Sky Captain, but oh, he had a Force Away too. Wow, okay. Opponent had just a very good hand. Well, that was pretty problematic to beat, unfortunately. Too many good tempo and return spells. So unfortunate loss here, but let me see if I can't draw something, I guess. I don't know what I could play with 1 mana. He already knows about the Cunning Strike, though, so it doesn't really matter. Mind Scour Dragon, yeah. Okay. Well, it was a tough loss. Still don't think we have much of a sideboard. It's got a lot of bounce and tap down and stuff like that. Oh, we have Feat of Resistance already. Well, would have been a nice spell to have. Guess we just try again here. Okay, so we're going to play first. And, yeah, this hand's actually good. I'm not going to do a turn 2 Cleric. I think we're just going to... Well, I mean, we might. It is totally dependent on what we draw, but... oh, we don't have a white mana. Uh-oh. Well, still not... I still would have kept it, regardless of the fact of whether I realized this had a white mana or not, and it turned out to not matter in this case. So now we can actually go Cleric into Falconer, which is much better. All right. Seems fine. So let's just swing with our Cleric and then drop the Falconer and then pass. Next turn, couple options. We can Outlast plus Stalker Morph, which I kind of feel like doing rather than the Kirin, but the Kirin is not bad either. All right, a Morph, which is fine. I feel like we go on the Outlast plan here, so we're going to Outlast. Then we'll morph out this guy, which gives us some pretty good options next turn, since we can swing with both of our guys, and the only thing we're really worried about, I guess, is the fact that our opponent has a lot of bounce in his deck, and Crippling Chill and stuff like that. All right, let's just play a land and swing for the fences here. I prefer it if he didn't block, so I don't have to worry about bounce stuff. All right, looks like he's going to bounce, so that's okay. Didn't play around it, but I have a feeling he's just making us use our mana and then bouncing, which is okay. I mean, it's a bit of a tempo against us, but we still can next turn hard cast him. So it's not like the worst. He doesn't get the full value. Basically, it's like prevent 4 damage to himself and discard a card, which isn't that bad against us. Not going to block his morph at 5 mana. I don't think that's correct. Especially since this doesn't even threaten lethal on it. Looks like he might be playing a Scavenger or a Gurmag Angler. Alright, well, Angler's better. No attacks with the morph, though, which is pretty interesting. Alright, let's get in with our flyer. And I think we actually drop our other Kirin. Or only Kieran, I guess. Oh, he had a flock. Okay. Well, now, at this point, I guess I'm more tempted to drop the Stalker. So if he confidently attacks, I think I just take 5. Because it kind of indicates to me he's got a trick of some sort, yeah. So I'm not going to worry. I just don't think double blocking is very safe at this point, just based on the knowledge of what I know about my opponent. Soul Summons is a fine draw, though, so why don't we do that first? See what we get here. Plains, okay. So now the question is, do we want to play Kieran or Outlast? I kind of want to Outlast. So I think we're going to do that one first. And we'll play a Bivouac, and we'll pass. I'm going to take one more hit from him. Just kind of on the hunt for something that makes my trade opportunities better or something along those lines. Well, it's not bad. So I can swing with my Stalker and Falconer and play Horde Chief plus Kieran. That's not bad. He has to pump how many times? He has to pump 3 times to trade with the Stalker. Could also supplant form, which would be pretty bad, but I can't do much about it. So I think we just... Actually, I think we just swing Stalker? I guess I only have 2 white sources, so I can either do Horde Chief and Kieran or... I see. Or Outlast. I think I want to Outlast this turn, so... I think we'll hold back. We'll Outlast, play the Kieran, and pass. So now I can quad block his Angler, which I think is, at this point, safe. Because lethal, 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 alright. Now there's not any one creature he can deal with to prevent this. He can kill Kieran and Manifest. If he has removal, still can't really do all that much with removal. If he has multiple removal and pump, or if he has removal pump, then he can do pretty nasty stuff, but I'd say this is the safest block. Could be just trades 2 for 1, which is certainly a good trade for him, but... Okay, supplant form. Yeah, he did have it, unfortunately for us. So, we still get to kill this guy, which I guess is the actual good news. Bad news is, he's got a big dude. But I actually think that worked, to be honest, I think that worked out about as well as we could have hoped it worked out. So we'll get in with our Falconer. He's taking it. So now our options. We have 8 mana. I can do Horde Chief, but then I can't do Hardcast Glacial Stalker. I think Hardcast Glacial Stalker is pretty important here. I think we just do Hardcast Stalker plus Mystic. Which gives us some leeway. Okay. So I think now we could potentially get in for 6 here. I can actually block Stalker and Cleric on Scion, and if he uses all of his blue mana, he can only bring it to 5. So he could kill our Stalker with his Scion at the cost of all of his blue mana. Or I could just block his Stalker. Yeah, I guess I'd rather do, well, I'd rather do this one, I think. Because this way he can't kill my Stalker unless he uses a trick. And I can kill his Stalker if he doesn't have a trick. Yeah, if he's just on the pump plan and doesn't have a trick, I feel like we're okay. I mean, granted, we're taking 5 damage, but I don't think this is the worst if he doesn't have a trick here. Alright, it's not that bad, honestly. We ended up trading an Erishin Cleric for a Glacial Stalker. It's pretty good. Alright, does have a morph here. So, alright, that's pretty good. Why don't we just get in with the Falconer real quick here. Play our Soul Summons first. At this point, he's ready to block. Okay. Let's play a Soul Summons, see what we dig up here. Just a mountain, which we didn't want to draw anyway, so that's fine. And a Horde Chief. Just put more board clutter out there. And at this point, we'll pass. Alright. On the offensive there, so let's do the block that does the most work for us without losing the most stuff. So I think I can block Manifest Token plus Horde Chief and Warrior as an option. Basically, I don't want to block with my Glacial Stalker is the big one. So I can block. I guess the main issue is I'd still rather keep my Glacial Stalker than a Manifest Horde Chief and a Warrior token. So I think I'm just going to offer him the chance to kill all of my little guys, which is okay. Could honestly swap the mana, get the extra toughness, but I think this is fine. So we can pump 4 times to get rid of our Horde Chief Manifest and a Warrior, but I don't think that's the worst. I couldn't just do a double block because then he doesn't even have to pump and he gets to kill my Manifest. So I kind of feel like I either had to block with a Glacial Stalker, which I didn't want to do. He left up the 5 mana to unmorph, so it kind of makes me think he's going to be unmorphing. Ooh, Deflecting Palm's good draw. Let's get in here and pass. Could be the, alright, it's not. I was going to say, could have been the, what's his face? Well, I guess we'll find out. Abomination of Goodell. But I have the Deflecting Palm for that one, so that is a nice part. It could be 1,000 wins, but then I'm still in good shape. Refocus. All right, so he's in draw mode, certainly looking for something. It's actually the first time I've seen Refocus played. I think it's a fine card, by the way. I don't want you to get the wrong impression about that. Do think it's a fine card. I think we swing for the fences here because I don't want him to draw more, basically. And because I have deflecting palm, I feel like it pans out all right for us. I think at this point I just swing with these 3, actually. Okay, so it's a flock, which is fine. Multiple monastery flocks. Yeah, I'm okay with that too. Could be he's just chumping. Alright, he's in chump mode. So I think we just drop a herald and then pass. We're in pretty good board state at the moment. He doesn't have mana for anything that I'm too concerned about. Can't imagine what he would have that would get me here. It's not Dune Blast because he doesn't have white mana. Dead Drop doesn't really do much. Treasure Cruise is a good one. Some good value. A lot of Monastery Flocks in his deck. I'm curious if he's playing like Secret Plans or something. Yeah, I think we still have... I guess we're 1 short of lethal with that one. All right. Well, if we're 1 short of lethal, let's just get in here and then use Herald. Get more threats out there. I don't see why not. Couldn't kill him anyway. All right. So we got game 2. Opponent is... I'm trying to think of all of the morph guys we've seen besides Flock. It's been 2 Flocks so far. Seems like a very blue-focused deck. Like us, interestingly enough. He's certainly not a deck I want to mill with my Mind Scour Dragon. I feel like that could pan out pretty bad for us. I might bring the Stubborn Denial in. The Supplant form, there's a decent chance he taps out for it. There's a not decent, but realistically optional chance that we have a 4-power guy, so I can just straight up counter it. Supplant form seems so strong that I really should keep it in the deck. The Stubborn Denial, that is. What am I cutting for the Stubborn Denial? That's a good question. I could cut the Cleric. My opponent's certainly not aggressive in a 1/3 body as well as 3 life. Doesn't seem terribly important, but it was keeping the Morph and Sultai Skullkeeper at bay. He definitely seems more defensive, though, which makes the Cleric less attractive. Certainly not bad, but not necessary. Probably not as good as the Denial. My other option was cut Cunning Strike, but I don't like that. I think Cunning Strike's got too much stuff. Regardless of the fact of there might not be that many creatures I can actually kill with it. I think just the fact that I can draw a card off of it and deal damage to an opponent makes it good enough. So let's cut the Cleric. I think the card's good, but not that great in this matchup. So, okay, I'm good with this. Hopefully the Stubborn Denial is of some use at some point during this game. All right, this is certainly a keep. Opponent mulls to 5. Keeps at 5. And has a Typhoid Rats. All right. Typhoid Rats, I feel as though I can beat. 3 cards left. Opponent still hits a land drop, which is pretty important there, especially since that one grants all of the important colors he needs. Alright, bivouac. Next turn we're going to play the falconer. Opponent's doing pretty gosh darn good on Multi-5, I have to say. Let's drop our falconer and then pass. Then this will be interesting whether he attacks with the typhoid rats or leaves it back. That'll decide what I do, I think. Continuing the beats. Belling Saddle Brute, it's a pretty solid one, actually. Pretty solid. My options here, well, we're going to Outlast, so I guess we can go Outlast Horde Chief, but I guess the better play is Glacial Stalker since it can actually block the Saddle Brute. So let's Outlast plus Stalker. I guess we don't need a second red mana. For some reason I always end up short on my white. Alright, let's do this and drop a Stalker and then pass. So this way we can start swinging with our Falconer and leave up our Glacial Stalker for Saddle Brute blocks starting next turn. Or we might even go for the race. Might actually be better. Yeah, because we get a Horde Chief to chump. Let's not play around the Force Away and just get in here. Could have Refocus. Yeah, he didn't. Alright. So play a Horde Chief and pass. So this gives us a block for Typhoid Rats or a chump block for his Saddle Brute, both of which are fine. I think we're just going to chump that. Alright, no plays. So I think we Windswept Heath. We don't really need any more lands, and I don't mind deck thinning and filling our graveyard for our delve spells. I think we just get in with the Falconer. See if he's got the Force Away. Takes it. Whisk Away, actually, which is surprisingly more annoying. Alright, so I guess I just chill out now. I could play the Lotus Path Djinn, but I think we're unmorphing Glacial Stalker for some protection at this point. That's unfortunate. So now we have to play the Glacial Stalker to try and minimize the damage we're taking here, unfortunately. So I believe we take 5. Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate for us, but fortunate for him on a Multi-5. I'll give him credit for that one. Quite the draws. So, in a pretty bad spot now. I'm not sure we can recover, which is interesting since our opponent's mulled to 5, as mentioned. Will of the Naga seems pretty good, though. Alright, so let's play a blue mana. I can play Will of the Naga for 4, which means I should be able to play 4 mana, so I can play Lotus Patchin, but might be in my best interest to play the Falconer. Maybe just trade with the Typhoid. Well, maybe I'd just take the Typhoid Rats. Alright, that's actually not that big of a deal. But my opponent's draws have been pretty remarkable. Gotta give him credit there. Alright, another good threat, unfortunately. Stubborn Denial. You're an awful draw now. Yeah, I could have used that a few turns ago. Alright, I guess, man, I can't even glacially stalk plus, geez, plus Lotus Patch in, can I? All the mana in the world. I still can't do everything. What is the play? I guess we morph Stalker plus play Lotus Patch in, leave up Stubborn Denial. Stubborn Denial, not so useful here. It's actually forcing us to draw something too, which is pretty rough. Warden's a good one. So we have to play Warden. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Major glaring issue here being that I can't unmorph nor use Will of the Naga. But I had to play the Warden, so it's kind of a tough spot. Tough spot. One short of recasting Will of the Naga, unfortunately. Alright, well, I think we're going to lose, unfortunately. I don't have a good block here. Yeah, so I can't afford to take damage, unfortunately. So, guess, is there any way I can't, I lose everything. I lose everything. I can't do anything. I don't think there's any way, I can't arrange this block in any way where I don't lose everything. Alright, I guess I just lose everything. That's not very good. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's discard that. I still can't, unfortunately, play anything and my Will of the Naga. Guess I should have Will of the Naga at the end of his turn, and then I could have actually lived. So that was a mistake. Yeah, after everything went to my graveyard, I should have cast Will of the Naga on 2 of his guys. And then on my turn, I guess I could play Enhanced Awareness and play a Captain to chump block and still feel as though I would have lost. Guess I keep the illusion alive. If I just tap out, he knows he has lethal. Well, he knows he has lethal anyway. I'm not even upset at this loss. My opponent did great. He's an excellent deck, and he drew very well on a multi 5. I'm not going to be upset about the loss there. That was just very impressive. I don't know. I want to chat with him, actually. I want to tell him. That tells you how much I know about chatting. I don't even know how to get to this game. Oh. He did very good. Credit to Silverhammer. Excellent play. Okay. Overall, pretty happy with the deck. I got to do the cool deflecting palm thing in round 2, which was very good. Played well for us round 1. I liked the evasiveness of our creatures. I was a big fan of that. So, not a disappointing loss in round 3. Like I said, opponent had a great deck. Obviously, it was a great deck. I mean, he just won on a multi 5, so that is definitely a testament to how powerful his deck was. Very good. So, impressive victory there. We get some sellables, which is always good, so no disappointment on my end. And I felt like any of the mistakes I made today were fairly minor, so that's definitely refreshing coming off of yesterday where I felt like I had a lot of errors. So, all right, I've rambled enough. We'll see you guys next time.